for a prayer. Am I seeing Honorable Kua here? Honorable Kua, you may use the one that is on if yours does not serve you well. Okay, you can move forward. Let's see whose mic is on. I'm sorry, Honorable Kua. I'm sorry, Honorable Kua. Okay. Wait a bit. The technicians are there. They are already notified. They are working on it. I'm afraid even if we start with the prayer now, the rest of the proceedings cannot be recorded if the mics are not on. So everything has to be recorded. Honorable Kua and the rest of the members, if you can sign in, just to enable the system. We are sending somebody to come and help you that side. Honorable members, due to the technical issues are beyond our control, I would like to suspend uh, the proceedings offered this morning for at least 5 minutes for the technicians to work on the system, and then we'll come back. I believe it is in order. Agreed to.
therefore descended upon us here in the National Council, and grant that we may humbly and responsibly deliberate on all matters entrusted to us for the upliftment and welfare of the citizens of this country. We ask all this in the name of our Lord and Liberator, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Shall we affirm? I solemnly affirm that I will be faithful to the Republic of Namibia and its people. I solemnly promise to uphold and defend the Constitution and the laws of the Republic of Namibia to the best of my ability, so help me God. Honorable members, my apology for that interruptions. Like I said, it was beyond control. And at the same time, giving thanks to our IT for having solved the problem. This morning, we are joined by our former member of the National Council, who is sitting on my left hand side. And if you can now join me by welcoming Honorable Likando in our chamber. Thank you so much. Honorable members, this is our last session of the 6th National Council. I would like to afford honorable members an opportunity to reflect on our journey as members of National Council. To start with, I would like to afford this opportunity to Honorable Muteka. Honorable Muteka, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson, Honorable members. A very good morning to you all. I'd like to say thank you very much for this opportunity that you've granted me to be the first one to give a reflection on our 5 years, or almost 5 years, in the National Council. First, before I start with my reflection, honorable members, please allow me to give grace and honor to our Almighty God who has granted us this opportunity to serve our Namibian nation, to also thank the SWAPO party for believing in me as a young person to represent them and to be in this house and to deliver to our people. I'd also like to say thank you very much to Tate and Meme Muteka, who have been my spine, who have held me during this journey. It was not easy, but they never left my side. I'd also like to say thank you very much to the Fogo of all Fogos, they know themselves, and my friends and my family at large, as well as everybody who has contributed to this journey. I'd also like to say thank you to Honorable Shimi, who is the Chief Whip, who has been my mentor and assisted me in growing as a person individually and professionally in being a role of my Deputy Chief Whip, as well as Honorable Hans Limekela Nambodi, who was my chairperson in the Standing Committee on Health. Ladies and gentlemen, honorable members, I speak off the cuff today because this is quite an emotional time for me. Not emotional in a bad way, but emotional in a very, very good way. Honorable Chair, I'm proud to say that I would leave this house and I will be able to speak the language of lawmaking. I'll probably just go show off and say a word or two that people don't even understand, and it's probably because of the opportunity that we're given here. We get to leave this house, Honorable Chair, with full hearts and full minds, knowing that we have done the best that we can. When we came to National Council, we took an oath to serve to the best of our ability, and I can trust and believe that we have done and served to the best of our ability. We will be able to leave here being capacitated in different areas, from protocol to good governance to even AI, Honorable Chairperson. And all of this is to say thank you to the leadership of Honorable Lucas Moha and the leadership of Honorable Bao Kauma, our chairperson and vice chairperson, respectively. I'd also like to thank the honorable members who have served alongside myself for everything that we have gone through, both bad and good. One thing that I can say is that we stood the ground, honorable members, and I think we deserve a round of applause. Regardless of our different political affiliations, we remembered who was first, who was most important, and that was the Namibian people. We didn't allow our political affiliations to come in between us. We stood together, we spoke the same voice, and we marched on and made sure that we represented and held high our flag. Be it that it was inside our country or be it that it was abroad when we went for our different missions, we made sure we told them that we're from the land of the brave because indeed we are brave and we do come from the land of the brave. I'd also like to say thank you very much to the staff members of the National Council, particularly our chief clerk, as well as our junior clerk who has assisted us in our various activities when it came to our oversight functions. We have learned a lot. We have been humbled, Honorable Chair. I myself came here with a hot head, I need to confess. Because as a young person, you come and you think, I know it all, and I'm going to tell them. I came back with my tail between my legs because I came to understand that there are systems and processes that we need to respect and that we need to go through. I'd also like to take this opportunity to say thank you to all the female MPs who are here. I'm the youngest amongst of you, but you've taken me in as your child. You have been able to sit me down, you've been able to advise me, and you've been able to carry me, which is something that is very, very rare amongst women. And this has demonstrated that indeed, as women, we are ready to lead because we are able to hold hands. Last but not least, last but not least, I'd also like to say thank you very much to the male members. And you'd realize that I categorize you in two different groups. First the women and now the males. You've all taken me as your sister, as your child, and never did you ever discriminate against the fact that we were young or the fact that I was female. So, Honorable Chairperson, you asked me to reflect wholeheartedly how this journey has been. It has been an honor, Honorable Chairperson, to serve the Namibian people. It has been an honor to stand here and represent that generation that I stand for. It has been an honor to also represent the generation that went before me and the generation that comes after me. I thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much for that reflection. I am informed that Honorable Kadongo Minya has joined the queue for today. Honorable Kadongo Minya, the floor is yours.
In what language? But I don't care. Yeah, thank you very much for being given this opportunity of thanking my honorable chairperson, honorable vice chairperson, and all the honorable members that are sitting in this house today. I have been in this house for how many days? 3,600, close now to 620 days. So if you can calculate, it will tell you for how many terms that I have been here. So I will leave the mathematics for those that can do it. But I have been here for 3,620 days, almost to 630 days. And also including Honorable Likandro, I will also thank you and all the staff that are here and also the other staff that are outside there. When I came in this house in 2015, I came in here. We were brought in with my honorable chairperson also sitting there, and all honorable vice chair. And I was coming from an industry I'm coming from the veterinary industry that for 22 years, did not wear a suit. I only know a short trousers, a t-shirt, and gumboots, and all those stuff. And then that morning I was brought in here. I asked my friend, which side is National Council in Windhoek? And then my friend, he take me along to the side of National Council. So I was just wearing what you call baggy in English, and then a jean because I just said we just go there and maybe tell no, I'm the new member, so and so. And then when I came in, so my friend was not allowed to go any further. So I had to give him quickly taxi money to go back, and I was in now. Don't worry with the friend. And when I was there, later on, whilst we were moving there, take your ID, what is it, for passport, for what, I don't know these things also. Then I have a sister working here at the National Assembly. He'll take Alongominya. So maybe the members here, the staff here, because of my dress code, they phone my sister and say, they phone my younger brother at NBC. But no, your brother is here, but the way he dressed is not really proper. And then he was afraid to call me. Now he called the elder sister here. And then the elder sister called me and said, where are you? I said, no, I'm here now. I'm just registering. And then, no, they said you did not dress well. And I said, what is well? I have a whatever shirt on and I have my whatever. What is well? I was not told, don't tell me those things. So it's where I learned we should not come that way here. So I have been here for the 3,640 days. I came here to came and make very new friends, people that I did not know. And then I have now joined the lawmaking industry. An industry that was really totally strange to me. And I was, by then the opposition members, now we are sitting a full bench. Is it the sixth honorable deputy vice chair? Was it the sixth council? Fifth council. We were only two opposition members. Only to me and Honorable Muharukwa that was sitting here. But we did not feel that we were two. Because something that I came to learn in this house was whenever you enter there, party politics remain, I don't know, maybe at the restaurant there. And when we come here, we are doing and tackling issues, Namibian issues for 121 constituencies. And then we have been learned what is standing rules. We have been learned what is the constitution. And I think we were the very first group that went through the training, the UNAM training of parliamentary practice and whatever, that we were the very first group. For us to learn the three arms of government and all the other parliamentary issues that we went through. And then really, that was really a good experience. And when I joined the Public Account Committee, as I have said, we were only two from the opposition, and so we were only one opposition, and then the other members were from the ruling party. But when we were in that committee, with my Honorable Likando, my chief whip, and all the other honorables that we were together, really it was an experience. It was an experience. And then through the Public Account Committee, for the first time in my entire life, just you come from Oresevate, I have been in Marindal for more than 18 years, came in here, maybe 2 weeks thereafter, I was sent to represent our committee at a Commonwealth function in the UK, London. I was wondering. I went to tell my mother, who said, now I'm going to London. Where to start? So I have to go and pray at home, come back, so that the ancestors must protect me on this new journey flight. I don't know, because you know the flights, how we were told about the flights. And we managed, it was only me and Honorable Master Uyuni. And it's the first time, big flight, 800 people, Mukuru Tate, business class, not ordinary class, business. When you landed in London, here stands people from the High Commission, they take you to a hotel Mukuru Tate. All these things, I came to get it at the National Council. And then comes the sixth National Council that we were in here, with my honorable chairperson that we were sharing jokes in the fifth one. Now he becomes the boss. Now he becomes the big boss. Now I must run after him. But that is nature. Today you are together, someone can, then I meet the small girls like Muteka in this one, because in the fifth National Council we were elders. Now, in the sixth one, I meet only Kennedy, the young boys of today. But my honorable members, the only thing that I can say is thank God. We went through this. There was no day. We are coming from different political parties with Benson and all this, but there was no day that me and a member is quarreling. From whichever party. We are accusing, we are insulting. No, we fight here in the chamber. We fight here in the chamber, and when we leave this chamber, we are friends. When we meet in Rundu, when you meet where, we are friends. We make sure we go to each other's house. The warm hospital, when our committee is traveling, and we came along at Okongo, ooh, the warm hospitality that we get at Memeka Ishungu's house. We know the whole family now there. Okay. The warm hospitality that I get at my vice chairperson's house. We went there, we have our dean, Honorable Sikongo. So we don't talk of being, you are from this tribe, we are members of the National Council. And that is the big thing. And we should grow up and learn our kids that we might differ, we are from different tribes, but to protect this country and to keep the peace and stability, learn from the members of the National Council. You did not put in a name. So when I go back, my honorable chairperson, my honorable members, I will always keep you in my memories. We should not say, there is no way that you will be here in the National Council for lifelong. You should know that you come in, Honorable Shawe Onja, when there is it's time to go, just be free to go and do each other, because I'm now aiming to fight for becoming a president so that me and Mehmet Daifa must shake one another and see where can I come in. So we should not fight for a position of the councillor. Let us groom others, let them come in and we move up. If we don't do that, you will never move up, because you must be pushed up, and when you go up, someone should take your place. Thank you very much for being together. God bless. We have been here, all the staff, my honorable secretary. If there were days that we have annoyed your staff and so on, my honorable staff, that is human nature. We cannot laugh at each other every day. Some of us are very rough. We have grown in abattoirs. Abattoirs does not have respect. You work with 2 knives every day, and a sharpener, and blood. I have been working with blood for 22 years and 6 months. I have been tamed down by the National Council to become a better person because I have been your blood. Thank you very much. So God bless. I'm still in Aminus. I'm the acting president of NUTO. I'm around. You will find me everywhere. Okay. At times I will come and visit the president because I have issues that I need to address, national issues. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member, for that reflection. We now get back to our routine order. Any petition? I see none. Any report of the Select and Standing Committee? I see none. Any report and papers? I see none. Any notice of motion? Honorable Kadongo Minya.
Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, I hereby give notice in terms of Rule 54 of the National Council Standing Rules and Orders that on Wednesday, the 5th of November 2025, I shall move the report of the Standing Committee on Public Accounts and Economy delegation to the 16th Annual Conference and 20th Annual General Meeting of the Southern African Development Community Organizations of Public Accounts Committees held in Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe, from the 7th to the 14th of September 2024. So I move.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. Please assign and table the notice. Thank you. Any further notice of motion? Honorable Mbango.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I hereby give notice in terms of Rule 56 of the National Council Standing Rules and Order that allow an MP to move a notice on behalf of another MP, in this case, Honorable Njao, and also in terms of Rule 54 of the National Council Standing Rules and Order that on Wednesday, 5 November 2025, I shall move the report of the National Council Standing Committee on Agriculture, Environment and Natural Resources on the Nevsky International Ecological Congress held from the 22nd to 23rd of May 2025, held in St. Petersburg in the Russian Federation. I so move.
Thank you so much. Please table the notice after you have signed it. As Honorable Mbango is preparing himself to his seat, I am seeing the hand of Honorable Kaishungu. Please take the floor.
Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, I hereby give announcing the term of Rule 54 of the National Council Standing Rules and the Order that on Thursday, 6 November 2025, I shall move the report of the National Council delegation to the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association Conference on the Commonwealth Women Parliamentary Gender States Workshop, Africa Region in Kigali, Rwanda, held from 20 to 22 May 2025. I so move.
Thank you so much. You may sign the notice and table it officially. Thank you so much. Any further notice? Honorable Likua.
Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, I hereby give notice in terms of Rules 54 for the National Council Standing Rules and Order that on Wednesday, 5 November 2025, I shall move the report for the National Council delegation to the 43rd Annual Southern African Transport Conference held in Pretoria, South Africa, from 7 to 10 July 2025. I so move.
Thank you. I table the notice. Thank you. Any further notice of motion? Honorable Tebele.
Dumelang lotlhe. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, I hereby give notice in terms of Rule 54 of the National Council Standing Rules and Orders that on Wednesday, the 5th November 2025, I shall move the report of the National Council Standing Committee on Transport, Infrastructure and Housing on oversight on the motion of the urban poor and landless citizens in all 14 regions of Namibia. I so move.
Thank you. You may sign and table the notice. Thank you so much. Any further notice? Honorable Languo.
Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, I here give notice in terms of Rule 54 of the National Council Standing Rules and Orders that on Wednesday, the 5th of November, 2025, I shall move the report of the National Council delegation to the Southern African Development Community Parliamentary Forum, in brackets SADC PF, conference of the 55th Plenary Assembly Session in Luanda, Angola, from 1st to 7th July 2024. I so move.
Thank you. You may sign and table the notice. Thank you so much. Any further notice? I'm seeing a hand of Honorable Ngunaia.
Very good morning to all of you honorable members. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, I hereby give notice in terms of Rule 54 of the National Council Standing Rules and Orders that on Wednesday, the 5th November 2025, I shall move the report of the National Council Standing Committee on Transport, Infrastructure and Housing on the follow-up on the progress made on connectivity of road infrastructure to Zambezi, Kavango West, Hangwena, Jikoto, Kunene, Erongo, Ochudonjupa, and Omaheke regions from 18th August to the 5th September 2025. I so move.
Thank you. May now table the notice. Thank you so much. Any further notice? Honorable Mbangu, again.
Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, I hereby give notice in terms of Rule 54 of the National Council Standing Rules and order that on Tuesday, the 4th of November, 2025, I think the motion is wrongly read, that on Wednesday, the 5th of November, 2025, I shall move the joint report of the Southern African Development Committee Parliamentary Forum, SADC-PF, 57th Plenary Assembly Sessions held in Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe, from 31st of May to the 7th of June, 2025. I so move.
Thank you. I wish to see that signature. If it takes you 3 minutes to sign, so it must be. Okay. Thank you so much. Any further notices? Okay, Honorable Kadongo Minya, again.
Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, I hereby give notice in terms of Rule 54 of the National Council Standing Rules and Orders that on Thursday, the 6th of November 2025, I shall move the report of the National Council Standing Committee on Public Accounts and Economy on the review of the Auditor General's reports from the 14th to the 25th of October 2024, and then again the 12th of July to the 3rd of August 2025. So I move.
Thank you. You may sign and table the notice. Thank you. Any further notices again? Okay. My senior here. The floor is yours, Honorable Nambodi.
Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, I hereby give a notice in terms of Rule 54 of the National Council Standing Rules and Order that on Wednesday, 5th November 2025, I shall move the report on the National Council Standing Committee on Health, Social Welfare and Labor Affairs on the verification visit to the health facilities on the 13th regions, excluding Thomas region, from the 2nd and to the 21st August 2025, 15th to 22nd September 2025, and on the 5th to 17th October 2025, I so move.
Thank you. You may sign and table the notice. Thank you. Any further notices? Honorable Kauma.
Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, I hereby give notice in terms of Rule 54 of the National Standing Rules and Orders that on Thursday, the 6th November 2025, I shall move the exit report of the Implementation and Coordination Committee, ICC, of the 6th National Council from 2020 to 2025. So I move.
Thank you so much. You may table the notice. Honorable members, any further notice of motion? I see none. Thank you so much for all these notices that you have given. This shows the seriousness of committees. Give yourself a hand of applause. Honorable members, the Secretary shall now read the first order of the day.
Reports, introduction and motivation of a report, report of the National Council Standing Committee on Home Affairs, Security, Constitutional and Legal Affairs on its oversight visit to selected correctional facilities and selected police cells from the 20th of January to the 10th of February 2025, as well as from the 3rd to the 12th of March 2025.
Thank you so much. Honorable Njambula, are you ready to move the report? Your mic. Okay. You may take your seat. Any objection? Agreed to. Honorable Njambula, the floor is yours.
Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, the National Council Committee on Security, Constitutional and Legal Affairs conducted oversight visit to selected correctional facility and police cells. This visit took place from the 20th of January to 12th March 2025 as part of the committee annual plan for the 2024-2025 financial year. From Chairperson member, despite the number of past oversight visits undertaken by the President, the Senate Committee of the National Council key challenge still impact the efficient, dignity, and human rights standard in our correction and police institutions. This issue requires renewed focus and action for the Minister of Home Affairs.
Honorable Njambula, I'm sorry for that interruption. You were expected at least to table that report first before motivation. You will then be asked to table it so that others can have access to it.
So not given.
You don't have one for. You don't have one to be tabled. You don't have a copy. Okay. 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 Thank you so much. If you do not have a copy, then we'll ask the table officers to just provide the copies to the others, either through the system. Okay, we are sorting it out. Yes. Honorable Njambula, you can just take your seat in the meantime.
Oh.
You can just take your seat in the meantime. Okay. My apology again, Honorable Njambula, for that interruption. Supported by Rule 27, we are now going for tea, and by the time we come back, we will continue with the tabling and the motivation of that report. I believe it will also be fair enough for Honorable Njambula now to get things sorted out while we are on break. And it will also be fair enough for the rest of the members now to peruse through the report, because by the time we come back, we'll then continue with the debate on the report. So agreed. We can take our seats. Honorable members, we are going to proceed where we have ended before tea break. And I shall now ask Honorable Njambula to table the report. Honorable Njambula, you may now go ahead and motivate the report. Your mic.
Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, the National Council Committee on Security, Constitutional and Regular Affairs conducted oversight visit to selected correction facility and police cell. This visit took place from the 20th January to 12th March 2025 as part of the committee annual plan for the 2024-25 financial year. Honorable Chairperson and members, despite number of past oversight visits undertaken by the President, the Standing Committee of the National Council key challenge still impacts the efficiency, dignity, and human rights standards in our correction and police institutions. This issue requires renewal focus and action for the Ministry of Home Affairs, Immigration, Safety and Security, and other stakeholders. As part of its oversight responsibility, the committee conducted follow-up visits to the following correction facility over a period of 21 days: Windhoek, Haldap, Keetmansop, Kobabis, Swakop, Wasbay, Omaluru, Grootfontein, Divun, Evarestus, Congo, Elizabeth Lepembe, and the Oruno Correction Services. The committee also made visits to the following police holding cell: Windhoek, Ochomwisi, Marindal, Keetmansop, Kobabis, Swakopmund, and Wasbay. Omaruru, Grootfontein, Rundu, Katima Muriro, Enana, Oshikango, Oshakati, Ondangwa, Outapi, Okahao, and Opuo. The oversight visits were conducted under the following theme of reference, which guided the committee mandate: to inspect all identified correction facilities to determine whether recommendations from previous committee have been implemented. B, to assess whether Namibian correctional facilities adhere to international human rights standards, particularly the 2015 United Nations Standard Minimum Rule for the treatment of prison and Nelson Mandela rules. C, to examine the condition of accommodation, health care, and safety of women. B, to determine whether prisoners are protected from violence and abuse while in custody. E, to evaluate the level of non-custodial measure in place. F, to verify whether prison nutrition needs are adequately met. G, to assess rehabilitation and reintegration program available to the inmates. H, to engage directly with prison to determine whether these programs are responsive to their needs. E, to investigate claim of overcrowding in holding police cells across selected towns and regions. G, to comply a comprehensive report for tabling in the National Council accompanied by recommendations relevant to Ministry for action. As part of its preparatory process, the committee held a pre-visit consulted with the Minister of Home Affairs, Immigration, Safety and Security on 20 January 2025 to ensure that oversight mission was informed by verified baseline information. All 6 members of the Standing Committee, accompanied by the Secretariat, participate fully in the study visit. Honorable Chairperson members, the report in front of you outline the main findings, observation, and the recommendation for consideration action by the relevant ministry. Special Home Affairs, Immigration, Safety and Security, and Justice and the Labor Relations. Honorable Chairperson members, I am pleased to report to this August House that the oversight list was a resounding success. The committee extended its sincere gratitude to the senior officials of the Ministry for their cooperation, coordination, and insightful engagement throughout the mission. The committee noted that numerous correction facilities inherited from the colonial era have not undergone substantial renovation, and they remain in a deteriorating state. Several of these facilities, constructed as area as 1992, have not been rehabilitated to function as contemporary practice centers. This facility requires rehabilitation, renovation, relocation to meet established human habitation standards. Facilities such as Windhoek, Keetimashop, and Swakop Correction Center have been identified for possible relocation to the outskirts of town to support control and management. While Evaristus Congo Correction Facility was assessed to be in good condition and appropriately located as it was constructed after independence. Another major concern was the shortage of staff accommodation across most of correction facilities, a situation that must be addressed urgently to ensure conducive living and working conditions for the office. Honorable Chairperson, the committee noted serious concern that police cells, citing despair, poor sanitation, health risk from stagnant water and inadequate facilities, and the fire hazard nearby kitchen using gas or wood stove, particularly during the rain season. Toilets located inside sleeping quarters, often without partitions, violate inmate dignity and privacy. In some situations, non-functional toilets force inmates to flush with basket, an unacceptable condition that must be urgently corrected. One major issue observed that remained unchanged despite various oversight visits by previous standing committee from both houses of Parliament over the years is the consistent overcrowd of holding cells. This continued non-adherence to the international human rights standard, particularly the 2015 United Nations Standard Minimum Rule for the treatment of prison, Mandela Rule. At the same time, overcrowd signifies administrative and financial pressure on the Namibian police, particularly for food, water, electricity, and hygiene. Honorable Chairperson members, the committee expressed concern that the Namibian police detain terror-awaiting inmates without clear legal framework, noting that terror-awaiting inmates ought to be held at a remand facility in ideal situation. It's worsening that 36 years after independence, that there are no remand facilities in the country, and that none of the ministry plans are indicating construction of such facility infrastructure. The current overcrowd is severe and unsustainable. It requires urgent interministerial collaboration between the Ministry of Home Affairs, Immigration, Safety and Security, and the Ministry of Justice, Labor Relations to find practically lasting solutions. The committee recognizes that the government of the Republic of Namibia allocates significant annual resources to care for prison in suspect, including expenditure on food, healthy, bedding, and transportation to court nationwide. Consequently, these challenges are not solely humanitarian and administrative concerns, but also constitute substantially financial consideration impacting the long-term sustainability of the correction system. Honorable Chairperson members, the report before you extrapolates the committee comprehensive observation, reason learned, and practical recommendation aimed at addressing the challenge affecting the correction facility and police cell, and also to ensure that Namibian correction facility meet national and international standards as outlined in Mandela Rule. The Ministry of Home Affairs, Immigration, Safety and Security, and the Ministry of Justice, Labor Relations should coordinate to resolve the issue. As a representative of the Namibian people, it's our responsibility to continue to conduct oversight and hold the executive accountable to ensure these recommendations are implemented through meaningful reform that uphold the dignity, just security of every citizen. Finally, I would like to agree with the constitutional provision which clearly stated that nobody is above the law. The reason being that we have seen prominent members of our society behind the bar. And this is a working call to us as honorable members. From chairperson, honorable members, so I move.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that motivation. I now call for further discussion. Honorable Mbango, I see your hand.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I rise to make a short intervention on the National Council Standing Committee's report, Home Affairs, Security and Constitutional Legal Affairs, on its oversight visit to selected correctional facilities and selected police cells from the 20th January to the 10th of February 2025 and from the 3rd to the 12th of March 2025. But before I make my interventions on this report, I wanted to raise something also that's concerning peace in the SADC region. We are all aware of what is happening in Tanzania currently now. Tanzania is burning. So all along we thought that maybe women, our mothers, will be good leaders, but we are witnessing the first female dictator on the African continent. So Samia Suluhu Hassan, the president of Tanzania, was sworn in yesterday. I think SADC countries appealed to the SADC countries to condemn what is happening in Tanzania. So last week's vote was made by deadly protest and an internet breakout. So as people who respect the fundamental human right, I think we should be concerned. There are claims that various sources, claim from various sources that hundreds of deaths were registered as hospitals and clinics across the country. And that hence SADC and AU must not keep quiet. We can't allow SADC counties to degenerate. An independent investigation needs to be carried out by SADC and AU in what is happening in Tanzania. I think it can't be accepted. What is happening there is unacceptable. The life of our fellow African brothers that were lost there should be a concern to all of us who are sitting here in this chamber. Tundu Lissu of the Chadema party was imprisoned, and other opposition leaders, contenders such as Luhanga Mpina of the Alliance for Change and Transparency, was disqualified. So that is a clear tendency of a dictatorship, and it should be condemned by all of us. I wanted just to make that remark that SADC and AU must carry out an independent investigation into the Tanzanian saga, because it's quite disturbing. On this report, coming to this report, I want to applaud the committee for carrying out this comprehensive oversight function, even though we just received the report now, about 2 minutes ago, or 2 or 3 minutes ago, but you have done a very wonderful job. But I also have got some few questions, and as well as also some few recommendations. I heard the report is quite very clear. It's quite very clear that there are challenges within the prison cells and the police cells. And of course, especially with the police. Apart from the challenges that they are grappling with, the salary of the police officers is a major concern. Police officers are doing a very wonderful job. It's not easy. They work in a very aggressive environment, but they are poorly paid. Some of the security guards are even paid more than even the ordinary police officers. And it can't be right. I think their salary also needs to be looked at. Then the other issue is, of course, we are concerned about the condition of the inmate. But the question is, how much money does the government spend on every inmate that is in a police cell? It looks like our government spend more money taking care of prisoners than the disciplined people that are unemployed. Now, to some people, it's like it's better for them to be in prison to get free meal, free water, free electricity, access to TV, access to education. While the disciplined citizen, well-disciplined, well-behaved, are swimming in the ocean of poverty. No free water, no free electricity, no free food. And I think we need to balance the two. I'm raising this because we talked about the issue of basic income grant. We approved it here in this chamber, the motion of basic income grant. Although the ministry, the committee for social services, I don't know, maybe we'll get another report. We gave them a very serious task to push the ministry in order for the ministry to introduce the basic income grant. It's better for us to take care of the prisoners in the same time taking care of the unemployed by introducing the basic income grant to every unemployed citizen. At the moment, I think when you look at these things critically, it does not speak to each other. It's like it's motivating the youth to commit petty crimes so that they can go to prison and get free food and free water and have access to TV and have access to education. Some of the prisoners are leaving prison with their qualifications, while we have unemployed, the poor youth who cannot even afford to pay for the school fee. Of course, we've heard about the introduction of free tertiary education. But when you look at the concept, when the president announced it in parliament, and the current narrative, it's a different thing, because they're talking about, the ministry is talking about tuition fee and the registration fee, excluding the hostel fee. So that already tells that the free education, in fact, will not be free as we anticipated, but there will still be challenges to the poor. And in your report, Honorable Njambula, I'm not asking this question to you, but to the whole committee. There is a challenge with regard to the lesbian the gay, bisexual, transgender, the queer, the intersex, on where to place them. But in the report, you are saying that the Commissioner General directive have provided a solution on how to manage the queer, the lesbian, the gay, the bisexual, the transgender. So I'm very much curious. What does the directive say? How are we, what is the solution? How are they going to be placed in prison cell? I'm very much curious. Now, since the report is talking about this, that there's already a proposed solution from the Director General, I want to hear that. So basically, that's my question to the committee. Perhaps maybe if you can enlighten us on how that group will be treated. I so submit. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Mbango. I ask for further discussion. Honorable Chaveonja.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson of our August House. Honorable members, firstly, let me then also just send my condolences to our reliable Secretary General for having lost her mother. We want to say that she must get the necessary strength from her Creator, and we will keep her in our thoughts and prayers during this difficult time. Coming back to the report, as they normally say, curiosity kills the cat. One really want to thank the committee. Although when you are reading, I think there are also police cells that have been omitted, because I don't think it represents, because I saw the data that have been provided today. It doesn't look like it's the whole country that has been covered, unless if the others are having maybe their different names. But all in all, my biggest concern is the category that I pick up here that have been mentioned of the different inmates, whereby they have gained themselves in categories to an extent that there are 3 categories. One is for, bear with me. Okay, thank you, Chair, for the indulgence. There's a category, apparently getting 26. Those are now for those that are smuggling contract bands and other illegal goods. And then you have another category which is now getting 27. Let's talk about the fighters. I don't know whether they have created a boxing ring somewhere there, or what is the understanding. And then there is another category that my previous honorable was more talking about, the issue of sodomy, which is a serious challenge. And I also, as much as the previous honorable is saying, is so concerned where the category of people have been placed. I believe sometimes also as leaders we need to create also avenue for us to understand that now, do we really want to create categories for all these people? Or are we then going with the normal norm of knowing who's a man and who's a woman? But that's a discussion maybe for another day. But just coming to the recommendation, Honorable Chair, before that, I'm of the opinion that in cells, maybe we need to...
Point of order?
Yes, Rule 68, Honorable Chair. I just wanted to correct the Honorable. Not that I'm concerned. I want to know how they have been categorized. I'm not supporting it. That's why I want to hear how they going to categorize them. Whether do we need even those different cells. I just want to hear. I'm just curious.
but I'm not supporting them, but I just want to hear how are they going to solve it, because it's there in the report. I just wanted to correct him.
Okay, thank you. Honorable Chavenja, you can continue.
I just wanted you to be cutted. When you are now candidate, it's fine because now you went straight to what you wanted to say. I believe also the people outside now got the necessary message. But mine was more of a proposal that maybe we need to come up with a method that then disconnect, especially cell phones, when you are in the vicinity of these correctional services. Something that will need to jam them, because these people are not only doing this, they are even robbing people that are outside cells, making deals, selling vehicles, and all the other necessary things that they are doing, because as a community, sometimes our people are also falling victims to these people. And then you only end up with the understanding that this person who managed to do this is sitting in a prison cell. Maybe another thing that also Honorable Bango mentioned is that the salary is a serious challenge, because the less you pay people, the more you push them in a corner where they will even participate to solicit some of these things with the inmates. Imagine somebody who cannot manage who is not having enough salary, and then end up that these gangsters are maybe in a better position. What you will just become a liability to these people, and then they will use you the way they want. And to an extent, it's a problem. The other issue, I think by now we have moved away from papers, but I'm picking up that there are also documents that are sometimes getting missing. Maybe it's high time that we also improve as we are moving the way of using the gadgets that we are having nowadays than the normal paperwork. But when it comes to the recommendation, Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Members, there are two things I pick up that I wanted to hear from the committee. Specifically, when you talk about 12.4, it's saying that the ministry consider relocating most of the correctional facilities that were built in towns to the outskirts of town for easy control and management. Now you don't understand that these are movable things that need to be moved. So what are we saying there? And then you have another one, I think, when it comes to finding resources, that is really a challenge. One will really support, because seriously, I don't know whether my memory serves me right, but I think it's Finland, where you find the highest paid people are the teachers and the police officers. And I think people are doing this for a certain deliberate reason. Because the moment you pay these people what they did to be paid, and they are not the only forces also, because you need to compare them with the other forces, whether it's the NDF or the others. And I'm believing that their salary should not be that, they should not be that much different when it comes to their salary. Because the less you pay these people, you are really inviting all the other unnecessary things. But all in all, I would really want to applaud the committee for a job well done. And I also want and believe that this should not be the end. Whoever are coming on board and then they become responsible or are elected for this committee, this is one area that we really need to venture into and make sure that our people are safe. Also, you don't want the safety of the inmate to be compromised. Honorable Chair, there's one thing that is really have been bothering me is that when it comes to these offenders, you have been trialed and sentenced. After being sentenced, there is this thing called police clearance. The person has been sentenced, let's say for argument's sake, for 5 or 10 years. But after you have served this term, this paper called police clearance is following you. Now you want to start, you are looking for employment. So my understanding is always that maybe it need to be kept for future offenses that the same person will be committing, then being used when you are applying somewhere. Let's say maybe you want to work for whatever place, and then the moment they are requiring a police clearance, when these things are coming out that you are a previous offender, it end up not bringing these people. But at the end of the day, we have a program at that where we are saying we are bringing the people back to the normal life, as we are saying, the rehabilitation process. But then, in most cases, they have been followed by these police clearance, and then even our constitution also is very clear. You cannot punish somebody for a same offense for more than the amount, or maybe twice or whatever, because at the end of the day, if I have served my sentence, why should I then be followed by this police clearance? Unless if it is really that I went out after have been servicing my sentence, I commit another crime, I understand. But really in future, that's one thing also that I wanted whoever committee that is coming to pay really attention to, because it's really a problem. People cannot even apply for basics work like working for ECA and all the other things because of these police clearance stories. So I submit, Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Further discussions? Honorable Jobs.
Chairman, thank you very much. I will be very brief. I've got first of all, I'd like to thank the committee for the comprehensive report that they have tabled into this August House. I only have got a few concerns that I think the committee or the next committee has also to look into. Trail awaiting inmates at Omaruru Correctional Facility following the report is 47. Now my question remains, correctional service centers within a given towns are for those inmates that has been sentenced, as far as I know. So Omaruru is also one of the centers, but currently, as we also speak now, every day from Monday to Friday, a vehicle from a correctional service are driving to Porigas, taking inmates for court hearings. Every day from Monday to Friday. So I'm a little bit concerned about the cost involved every day, every month. So one should have maybe proposed that there is a holding cells at the places where the crimes has been committed. So why not keep the inmates first at the holding cells, speed up the sentences so that those who has been sentenced can go to those centers that is supposed to be keep them there, rather to bring every day trail awaiting inmates to Corregas. To maybe make a rough calculation, plus minus 204 kilometers times 2, if you go to Corregas and back to Omaruru, 408 kilometers times 5. I don't have mathematics, so I don't know how much it will be, the kilometers that is driven every day, every month. So can we also look into that so that we can maybe also save some cents for the government of Namibia? Lastly, both the station commanders, regional commanders at the police and even at the correctional services, I really love to recommend or advise that these senior staffs, all of them, must participate in these motor vehicle schemes so that they take off their hands from government vehicles for government vehicles to be used at the church offices, for people not to be told there is no transport at the end of the day when there is complaints. So I submit. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Honorable Nambondi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Let me also join others to thank the Committee for Well Structure, although I'm still having one concern here on page 14, whereby the committee indicated that Okahao Police Cell closed for renovation, and Swakop Mund, same applied to. I didn't met or take a point the way that when did these two cells maybe close? And the other thing, if there is a renovation, maybe at this stage, how it's on referring to the percentage, if there is any renovation. I so submit. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any further discussion? Honorable Tebele.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Mine is just actually a question to the conclusions at 11.3. It is actually coming to light that it says that overcrowding of police holding cells remain a major challenge, especially in the northern regions. So I wanted to know, or maybe a shared picture of other regions, how they are, because I recently have a report from Obabas that actually they are complaining about this overcrowdedness, but now the report only says it's only happening in the northern regions. I saw submit, Chair.
Thank you. Any further discussion? I see none. Honorable Jambula, do you wish to reply to so many questions and concerns put forward to you?
Yes, Commissioner.
You may go ahead.
Before I do that, I would like to ask the other members of the committee for their intervention. Before I do that, Commissioner.
Honorable Amjindi, the permission was granted to you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. To respond to some of the questions, one was raised by Honorable Bangu about the guys and the SBN about the directive from the Commissioner General. The directive, it is on place, it is in place that this community member need to be accommodated in a special cell. However, at this given time, the structure are not conducive to implement this directive. For example, they should not, you see, when the cell is overcrowded and they will keep these people together, they can do Sodom. But they need to be separated, each and every lesbian and guys, lesbian, they can be in a single cell so that they cannot conduct in that way. So, but the directive is in place. It's only that is the structure is not in place, and also is because of financial constraint. The other question was raised that what percentage of Ethiopia when we visited, when the construction took place, When we were there, it was around 50%. And you know, it was around, much around there. It could be, might be finished at the moment or at 95%. But at this time of point, we cannot tell now exactly whether they are done or not, because it was early in the year, in the beginning of the year. The question of Honorable Tebere, that can you, is it Honorable Tebere who asked, when we said the correctional facility need to be relocated, we are not saying is the space facility, the buildings to be relocated. We are meaning that because according to the information from the securities, they say is a security threat to have such in town. We need to construct new ones outside of the town, so that we cannot compromise the security of this one. Maybe some of the honorable members can also come in to respond to some of the questions.
Thank you. Beside Honorable Jambula, any other member of that committee to react before I give the final floor to Honorable Jambula? Okay, it appears Honorable Kennedy, are you rising? Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Honorable Jambula, the floor is now back to you, and Honorable Amjindi, your mic is on.
Yes, thank you, Comrade Chair. The other concern is the awaiting inmate transport every day. We have also raised that the office have also raised that concern to us, and it's very disappointment. However, we have also our recommendation regarding to that because some of them, they are even there because of the unable to pay the bill, the bill, yeah. It's the fine. It's also a point of concern. However, we have also write a recommendation to the ministry and to the Ministry of Justice to look into this issue. We have also recommended that they can also try some inmates also to be taken to farms in order to produce food for the nation. That's also another possibility that can be done. The other one is from Honorable which one?
You may just go ahead with the question itself and provide the answer.
Yes, I think it's for Honorable Shangaoze, if I'm not mistaken. The question was why can you yeah? It was answered, eh? Okay. Then that's all the question was asked, I think. Yeah, that's all the questions. I'll just thank the House and request the House to approve our report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Honorable Njambula. I now put a question that the report be adopted. Any objection? Agreed to. The report stand adopted. Honorable members, the secretary will now read the second order of the day.
Reports, introduction and motivation of a report. Report of the National Council Standing Committee on Home Affairs, Security, Constitutional and Legal Affairs on its follow-up visit to selected national border posts from 18th January to 9th September 2025.
Thank you so much. Maybe during the time when Honorable Amjindi will be asked to motivate, I'm not sure whether the dates indicated here are the correct dates or perhaps it was just a typing error because it indicates 18th January to the 9th of September. Maybe there could be an error there. But otherwise, Honorable Amjindi, do you wish to move the report?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. Any second? Any objection? I see none. Agreed to. Honorable Amjindi, you may now table the report. You may go ahead and motivate the report.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson and Honorable Member. The National Council Standing Committees on Home Affairs, Security, Constitutional and Legal Affairs undertook an assessment oversight to the selected national border post from 18 August to 9 September 2025 as a part of the Standing Committee annual plan for 2025-2026 financial year. The assessment oversight visits to the borders were deemed vital to correct post-intervention data and to assess whether issues raised over the years by the previous National Standing Committees were addressed and whether the Ministry of Home Affairs, Immigration, Safety and Security has improved its service delivery in terms of border securities, handling immigrants, and processing travel documentations. Given the background and the available baseline information, the 6 National Council Standing Committees on Home Affairs, Security, Constitutional, and Legal Affairs undertook its final assessment oversight visit to the following borders posts that were visited by the committee in 2021-2022 financial year. They are Matamata border post, Hadap region, Crane Manasseh border post, Karas region, Transkarahari border post, Omaheke region, Sarusungu border post, Kabango East, Mahebo border post, Kabango East, Kadima border post, Zambezi region, Goma border post, Zambezi region, Kurenkuru border post, Kavango West region, Oshikango border post, Ohangwena region, and the Kasamane border post, Omsat region. The term of reference, the oversight visits were as follows: to conduct a final consultative meeting with officers, ministry, and agencies operating at the border post to brief the committee on the progress made regarding improve the state of the national borders as per the recommendations forwarded by the Standing Committee. B, to ascertain whether the National Planning Commission has conducted assessment oversight joint ministerial meeting with officers, ministry agencies to monitor and guide implementation of the joint action plan aimed to budgeting and implementing the Standing Committee recommendation to address various issues that were raised. C, to conduct a final inspection in loco at the border posts that were visited in 2022 with the aim to compare the status of the borders between then and now after 3 years, and to ascertain which recommendations were implemented respectively by OMAS and which ones are still pending for consideration and implementation in terms of fiscal infrastructure, safety and security, and the required number of staff development, information and communication technology infrastructures. Lastly, to compile assessment visit report for tabling in the National Council to update on the status of the border post since 2022. Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Member, the report presented provide detailed responses from OMAS, outlined findings from border post inspections, and include practical recommendations intended to address the main challenge encountered at the borders post. The committee findings in brief. The committee has observed a total revamped Trans-Kalahari border post in Omaheke region, which notable infrastructure and the operational upgrades, mainly due to its move to one-stop border post, a quite significant achievement by the all agencies at that border post. None of the remaining border posts have done a major structural change to the borders, such as parking challenges remain as it was 3 years ago. Most of the border posts still face with inadequate housing, poor water and sanitation infrastructure, frequent power outage, and the weak network coverage, except at Kasamane, as noted in the report. Honorable Chairperson, allow me to take one example of Oshikango as an example, where the border guards are living in a deplorable and harsh conditions. The border guards are accommodated in a very odd structures made out of corrugated iron zinc, without access to basic amenities such as toilets, showers, and the kitchen. The situation at Oshikango is very harsh. As a result, our people need urgent assistance to enable them to perform their task efficiently and effectively. The committee learned that these structures were on a temporary basis. However, it took too long. The Rhine Ministry and the other stakeholders need to step in order to rescue the station and find a lasting long solution. A notable change observed at all visited border posts were partially filling of the key positions, staff trainings, provision of official uniform, though not sufficient for Ministry of Home Affairs, procurement and the distribution of complete uniform set for all customs and excise staff at the borders. Logistical improvement observed were replacement of old flags at all border posts. Availability of vehicles for day-to-day running of the border post across the department due to a report mass procurement of vehicles with the Ministry of Agriculture and NAMLA. Though Ministry of Home Affairs had procured new vehicles, none of these vehicles were allocated to the border post. None of these vehicles procured by the ministry are stable for border patrol. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, among the key recommendations drawn from the report are as follows: that the Minister of Justice and Labor Relations inspect national border post facility and the direct non-complying employers in terms of regulation 31 sub 2 of the Labor Act to take such steps as the inspector consider necessary enable the employer to comply with provision of the Labor Act and the Regulation Act. That the National Planning Commission continue coordinating and facilitate the implementation of the National Action Plan and submit quarterly executive director meetings report and the biannual executive meeting report to the National Council. That the respective executive directors of OMAS ensure cascading of National Action Plan to the strategic plan of OMAS for streamlined budgeting and the execution of required projects aimed at addressing the state of the border post. That the incoming National Council Standing Committees on Home Affairs, Security, Constitutional and Legal Affairs continue to monitor implementation of the National Action Plan and hold executive accountable until the national border post meet the national and the international standards. This is to ensure that the extensive oversight work done by the 6th National Council Standing Committee on Home Affairs, Security, Constitutional and Legal Affairs is not lost due to imminent changes that come after the regional and local authority election this year. Honorable Chairperson, honorable member, the Standing Committee oversight activity and the recommendation have led to action such as the gazetting of additional border posts in Kunene region, the commencement of the long-awaited construction of the road to Imparida Island, and the construction of the Frodic Dock Harbor, among other notable changes. In summary, while border challenge persists, the Standing Committee has noted improvements and expect that continued oversight will help OMAS address issues effectively and bring border posts up to the required standard. Tabling this report marks the end of the 3-year oversight engagement that the Standing Committee conducted over the national border post. One of the key outcomes of these activities was development of the higher level National Action Plan on addressing the state of the national border post that was jointly developed by officers, ministry, and agencies coordinated by the National Planning Commission, as an instrument that the incoming National Council Standing Committee on Home Affairs, Security, Constitutional, and Legal Affairs can refer to keep the executive accountable until the action plan is fully implemented. Honorable Chair, honorable members, I want to thank the chairperson of the Senate Committee, who we have started with him, Honorable Johnny Rikando. And also I want to thank Honorable Clement Jambura, the current Standing Committee, and all honorable members for their support. And also I want to thank all our secretariats of this committee for their good work and support for over 5 years. You made our work easier to deliver. I want also to thank the National Council members and secretariat and staff for supporting us to execute our duties. And also to thank the ministries, officers, and the agencies for their unwavering support during the engagement. With this, Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Member, I so move. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any further discussion? Honorable Mbango.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I want to thank the committee. I think it's a very good report. They highlighted a lot of issues, and it's a very serious concern, especially in the report they're indicating that at some border posts there are even no birds. So the officials there are now expected to chase criminal now on foot, which is a serious challenge. At Urundu border post, there are no official accommodations for the officials there. There are no spotlight at the border post. So, and many other challenges. No electronic equipment, but they're doing it manually 36 years after independence. Those are very serious concern. We need to protect the sovereignty of this country jealously. But we can't do that if we have this type of challenges. Those are basic things. Spotlight. So I think the ministry need to take it very seriously. During the previous report that was under in camera, we also heard about some of the equipment at the border post being operated in Chinese language. I don't know if I want to hear also from the committee if that issue has been resolved or not, because we cannot afford to compromise the security of this country under no circumstances. Whether that issue has been resolved so that we can be at ease. And the other recommendation that I want to add on what the committee is reporting, I think we also talked previously about the need to move Rundu military base out of town. It's very dangerous to have a military base in town. Just want to hear from the committee how far have they engaged ministry on that. I think the previous colonial regime, they got it wrong. You can't put a military base within the residential areas. It must be far. In case if the war erupts so that we can protect the citizens. So if the committee can just highlight on that. But all in all, it's a very good report. So just an additional recommendation that we made in those few interventions. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Any further discussions? Honorable Tebele.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Really, I will not be very long on this one because as Honorable Mbango have already alluded, that is a very nice report. But now I was actually getting confused where I need a clarity in the findings at page 8, E, because it talks about there is no electronic screening of equipment. It's done manually. That's how it went. Now I get confused to understand whether this electronic screening, is it only the one that actually screen the equipments within this, the thing, or is it the electronic screening equipment itself? So I was just a bit confused on that one. I saw so more.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Honorable Kaezi.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson, honorable members. I also rise to comment on the report by the Committee on Home Affairs and Immigration. So my concern is, let me first thank the ministry, because first when we come here on our maiden speech, we mentioned that the Zambezi, Angola, Namibian border is so very porous, and then we need it to be identified. But now, let me thank the ministry. They have already started with the clearing of the border. Those who started our People's Liberation Army of Namibia, they know how thick is the forest between Namibia and Zambia, because it was the first war zone when the war started for liberation. Therefore, now the project has started, but we request the committee, those who will come, especially the admin who are going to remain, to make sure that they speed up the conclusion of the project. It's still far from being realized. It has just moved minus 30 kilometers.
Honorable Kaezi, maybe for the good work that the ministry is doing in response to the recommendations that these committees do, they deserve a round of applause.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Therefore, we request the committee, especially the staff who are going to remain, that maybe they might push that project, because we are waiting to realize that project. It's moving, it's very well. Secondly, our concern is the border post. We have a challenge of stock theft. It has also to be noted. On the 23 of last month, October, so cattle were stolen from Namibia, 27 cattle in one crow, and the members, the owner of the cattle, crossed, they followed it until to Sinjembera. They called me to report when they arrived at the border. So on the 23 of October, they arrived on the border, and they were not allowed to cross at Kamenga, at Kongola, to their home. And their home is after Sibinda, 60 kilometers from Kongola. So they traveled close to 60 or not 60, 100 kilometers in Zambia. So the Zambian part said you cannot cross with your cattle. And now they were in that situation, and they were hungry and they were tired. So they slept there for 2 days, if I'm not mistaken. Because they called me, they said, we are going to leave our cattle, but if we leave our cattle, then they will go back. We don't know where they will be. So 27 cattle, only 12 were found in Zambia next to Angola. So the issue, they might work on the issue of when you find your cattle with the brand mark, the two countries have to negotiate. Maybe the people who are going to remain, they should find a solution to this. Because when our cattle are found in Zambia, we don't have a budget. Our Ministry of Home Affairs don't have a budget to assist these farmers. They tell them, go and collect the magistrate from Zambia, at Katima Mulilo, Zambia, to bring him at Kamenga. You remember? From Kongola to Katima. So it's your cost. And they have lost some of the cattle. They just come up with 12. It's really a painful issue, which when they called me, I couldn't have anywhere to help. So I tried to call the commissioner and others, but they say that's the procedure. So really, that's what I want to comment. But the people to come in, they must look to this issue, that they solve it. We have a good relationship with Zambia. It should not be destroyed. I so submit. I thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? I see none. Honorable Amjindi, do you wish to reply?
Yes, Honorable Chairperson, but before that, a good leader is the one that empowers others. Maybe there are some honorable member that want to come in before I round up.
Any member of that committee who wish to reply to one or two questions before Honorable Amjindi? Yes, Honorable, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Comrade
Chairperson, the first concern from Honorable Bambo, the issue of the Chinese language being used, Chinese language, which was, sorry? Chinese language, yeah. It has been resolved because some Namibians have been trained in Southern Korea and in China also. We also undergone training in order to address the issue of the language. The issue of cattle stolen from Namibia to Zambia, and the owner were not allowed to go in, to bring them back. We have also made recommendations in that regard. That can also be taken up by the Line Ministry. And the incoming member of this committee, I hope they will also be continue with this issue in order to find the rational conclusion to the problem. So
Thank you so much for the responses. Honorable Okura, are you a member of this committee? Okay, you may now go ahead in responding to some of the questions that were posed.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson, and a very good afternoon to all the members. As a member of the committee, I'd like to respond to some of the questions, like the issue of bush clearance. As a matter of fact, I need to also mention to this House that there has been a plan of action has been developed, which is ongoing. And this plan of action is reviewed by the different institutions that are operating at the border post on a yearly basis. And some of these activities, like bush clearance, is one of the top priorities on your list. And these committees, they make sure that from time to time, they visit the border post, the different ones, and they make sure that bush along our border posts are cleared. And as was also mentioned by Honorable Likaisi, there are clear evidence that they have started, and this process will still continue. And we have made very strong recommendations thereof to say that this must continue until all border posts are cleared, and they have agreed to that. Further, on the issue of stock theft also, Honorable Chairperson and all the members, is one of the challenges also experienced at the border post, but especially the one of Fatima, as well as the I think the other one also of Kurenkuru. One of the biggest challenges that we experience there is the shortage of vehicles, patrol vehicles, to make sure that the borderline is intact, to avoid all these challenges. And this has been addressed with the relevant officials as we recommended as a committee, and they took notice of this, and they promised to also work on this in a very short period of time. And as I said, this plan of action is a live plan of action. It is being reviewed each and every, I think, twice a year, and just to monitor the progress made and to address the issue of shortage of vehicles. They have already started. Some of the vehicles have been dispatched to the border post. I think soon and very soon, this will become something of the past. So I submit to the chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Honorable Amjindi, the floor is now yours. Honorable Hukura, your mic is on.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. On the issue of the question of military base, which is in town, which was raised by Honorable Mbangu, the committee did not conduct assessment visit after the last visit to the military base, but the incoming committees will use our information as a baseline to continue with that work. When it comes to the question of Honorable Tebere, when he asked about the non-electronic, when we talked about Matamata border post, Matamata border post is just a border post normally used by the tourists, and we are saying there is no screening machine. They are just using it manual. But our recommendation is very clear that there is a need to have a screening machine. On the question, I want to amplify what my honorable chairperson have indicated about the training of staff. Honorable chairperson, honorable member, I just want to inform the House that our recommendation to train to the OMAS and officers to train local staff to operate screening machine at the borders. We are, as a committee, happily informing this House that at the end of November to December, 9 Namibians will be sent to be trained in China, 9 to be trained again, so they can continue operating this machine. And this one expected to go at the end of November for 2-week trainings, November and December. And again, according to the NAMLA plan of action, they have also indicated that 39 staff are expected to go for training to South Korea as a part of NAMLA training plan. So these are our recommendations, and they are fully implemented by the officers and the ministries. With that, Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Member, I really appreciate the House, and I just now am requesting this August House to adopt our reports.
Thank you so much. With all these responses, I now put a question that the report be adopted. Any objection? Agreed to. The report of the National Council, the Standing Committee on Home Affairs, Security, Constitutional Legal Affairs on National Border Post, stand officially adopted. Honorable members, we still have got one item to go, and at the same time, I would like to inform you that we have about 30 minutes to go because we did not move any motion that would allow us to go beyond 1 o'clock. But then that does not bar us from continuing the business of and concluding the business of today. I now ask the Secretary to read the third order of the day.
Reports, introduction and motivation of a report. Report of the National Council delegation to the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association CPA Conference on Artificial Intelligence, Disinformation and Parliament. Democracy in the Age of Deep Fakes, Singapore, from 18th to the 20th of June 2024.
Thank you so much. Honorable Amjindi, are you ready to move the report?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. Who seconds? Any objection? I see none. Honorable Amjindi, you may now table the report. You may go ahead and motivate the report.
Honorable Chair, Person, Honorable Member, the third CPA conference on artificial intelligence was held in Singapore from the 18th to 20 June 2024. CPA Namibia branch member, including myself and the Honorable Arm Dianda, attended and discussed artificial intelligence and disinformation democracy in the age of deepfake with leading experts. The conference brought together a total 20 parliamentarians drawn from the Commonwealth countries to examine the latest development in artificial intelligence and their implication for democracy, which were, given the background information, this report is aimed to provide feedback to CPA Namibia branch as well as to share lessons learned at the conference that may be enlightening to all members of parliament in both houses of parliament as the use of artificial intelligence has impact on day-to-day leadership, be it at the national, regional, and also coastal level. Namibia delegation composition. The Namibia delegation composition was Honorable Andreas Namonya Mjindi, MP National Council, CPA Cluster, and Honorable Dianda Arum, Member of Parliament, National Assembly, CPA class member. The conference objective. The three-day conference for Commonwealth parliamentarians was aimed at raising awareness about the latest developments in artificial intelligence and the scientific media, the implication of this development for democracies and the public discourse, and how parliamentarians can work with other stakeholders to develop legislative environment and the policy to ensure the integrity of digital democracies. Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Member, the CPA Artificial Intelligence Conference was a delightful opportunity to engage with some of the innovators and experts in the tech world, some who are based in Singapore, who presented the topic face-to-face, and the others who joined and shared their expertise via video conferencing. Below are some of the key lessons that were drawn for the 3 days conferences. A, the correct use of artificial intelligence is beneficial as it enhances the talent and skills for efficiency, while abuse and wrong use of artificial intelligence can cause serious damage if there is no regular framework to regulate the use of it in place. B, that is very important to identify authentic media platform and always seek and trust news from authentic sources to easily spot what is fake and what is real, more specifically by closely studying online news videos shared, especially during sensitive times such as election, to avoid mislead. Especially this year there is an election, the local and regional council election, you must be very serious when you are using this artificial intelligence. C, that uncontrolled use of artificial intelligence might lead to organize disinformation during national election to influence campaigns and the fake public opinion. D, that is important to identify what are benefits and the risk of artificial intelligence present as parliamentarian to make responsible law to help regulate the use of artificial intelligence in the public sectors as well as in the private sectors. E, that there is a need for public conversations about society with transformative artificial intelligence with the aim to create awareness to minimize communities to be misinformed. That there is a need to make robust law and the policies to mitigate the artificial intelligence, the authentic media, and the deepfake threat. Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Member, to mitigate this effect of artificial intelligence, the Parliament of Namibia should consider the following. The Parliament of Namibia start the regulatory conversation with the key tech companies in Namibia with the aim to amend the existing communication and the protection of that law in response to the evolving artificial intelligence technology to guarantee citizen online safety. The Parliament of Namibia requests the Minister of Information, Communication and Technology to educate and sensitize the member of both Houses of Parliament and the Secretariat on the benefit and the dangers of artificial intelligence to deal with genetic eye disinformation. The use of artificial intelligence applications such as GPT and DeepSeek for parliamentary report writings should be discussed openly and regulated, as this application might be used by hackers to have access to unauthorized parliamentary data and generate fake news that might jeopardize the work of the Parliament. Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Member, the CPA has produced a parliamentary handbook on disinformation, artificial intelligence, and the scientific media in collaboration with the Organization of American States in response to advance in relevant technology. The handbook provides strategies for addressing disinformation and offer guidance on how parliamentarians can collaborate with various stakeholders such as civil society, the media, technology companies to develop policies and the regulatory or legislative framework. It also includes information on steps that can take to protect their online profiles and the communications channels. The handbook is available on the CPA website. Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Member, with this brief motivation, I so move. Honorable Chairperson, I thank you.
Thank you so much for being very brief. Any further discussion? Honorable Bango.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, Honorable Members. I rise just to make a short intervention. It's a very important topic, even though I missed the workshop on AI. But this issue, I think, is quite very much important. It's about time for Namibia also to leverage technology. In the report mentioned about the issue of elections. The democracy, governance, as well as human rights. There is a report. It was a Global State of Democracy 2024 report, which assessed democratic performance across 173 countries using 165 indicators. Now, the report revealed a very pressing global decline in democracy. Even the so-called champion of democracy like America, they're also regressing. You've seen what has happened. The moneycracy have taken over. It's the power of money. And there is a very serious decline. And clearly, we can also see what is happening in Tanzania. It's one of the examples. That, that 1 in 3 people now vote in countries where elections quality had deteriorated. As has been observed what is happening in SADC, particularly in the country that I've just mentioned. And this includes also the rising disputes as well as the election outcome. And in the report, we are talking about the issue of leveraging technology and also the use of technology, of course. But I want to point out that currently now, we are moving away from democratic right to human security. Human security is more important. The security of a person to live a happy life. The security of a person to realize what is enshrined in the preamble of our constitution. That every Namibian citizen will be able to pursue the full measure of happiness. That to me is very much important. And our country, as much as I'm talking about the use of artificial intelligence, we are still lagging very far behind. In many areas of our countries, there's poor network. Very much poor network. In other areas, there's no network at all. And I think it's about time that we must take some of these issues very seriously. There were recommendations in the past for our country maybe to be able to adopt a satellite network as opposed to this manual network, which is causing a lot of challenges. Zimbabwe has already introduced, including even Zambia. In Zimbabwe, they have Starlink, and Starlink is very much effective. And I think we can also learn from our brothers. We need a satellite. We need a satellite network in our countries. If we are talking about the issue of leveraging on technologies. And I fully agree with the report, with what Honorable Mujinji have said, that it's about time for our country to have a legal framework to regulate artificial intelligence. You see, any information that is put in the LLM, that information will be there forever. We don't even know how that information will be used in future. If you put your personal information on AI, that information will be there. And hence the importance of our countries to regulate that. We need to strike the balance. There is also a danger in the absence of regulations. In absence of regulation, AI can also be a danger. But if we have legal framework in place, then of course we can also use it to our own advantage. I'm just afraid that maybe going forward, we're going to create a very dull society because all information will just be a fingertips away and people will no longer be thinking again. The other issue that I want to raise is that the unfavorable variances. Of course, with the advent of these transformations, the issue of funding also looms very high. He who pays the piper calls the tune. When we rely on foreign funding on everything, even on training, I think there's also a danger into that. Because they will dictate what we have to learn. And it's about time that our country, our government must also take a lead, especially the Ministry of MICT must take a lead on the issue of artificial intelligence. And then the other issue that I want to raise here is that at the moment, whether it's an issue of, because social media will always be there. You can't stop it. It's part of it's a modern way of doing things. The only thing that we need to be done is just to regulate. I remember when we started using Facebook, some of our elders had a problem with it. They were even discussing it in their meetings. It was some part of the agenda item, political agenda item. They are on a book face. They could not be able to pronounce Facebook very well. They are on book face. They are posting this, but you can't stop it. All what the country can do is only to regulate social media and all these other things, artificial intelligence. You can't stop it. That's a way of life. But most importantly, I think, like for our country, I think we've talked for too long, but there have been little bit practical actions. There have been little bit few implementations. There were a lot of recommendations that were made. There was a recommendation that was made, an importance for our country to adopt the SADC model laws, including on the issue of artificial intelligence. But we are doing very little. Just as I said that even with the issue of technology, we are doing very little. And it's about time for the ministry to, a special minister of MICT, to pull its socks. Having said that, I think the report is in order. We can't avoid it. We must just embrace, we have to embrace technology. In the same way, we must also embrace artificial intelligence as so submitted. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any further contributions? I see none. Honorable Amunjidi, do you reply to some of the comments?
Thank you very much. First, I want to thank Honorable Mango for that comment. But I want also to say that, yes, the Minister of Information, she's trying her level best. As we're talking, she's about to table a bill, that is data protection bill, that's aiming to safeguard the personal information and online presence, and also to table the cybercrime bills. So, and also to revise some communication act. So these are some of the move that the Minister of Information there. She's moving ahead. So thank you very much. We are moving ahead, and we are not only saying we should come up with a new policies. We can also amend some existing act on law to address the artificial intelligence. With that, Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Member, I now request the Honorable House to adopt the CPA report. I so request.
Thank you so much. With that reaction from Honorable Amunjindi, I now put a question that the report be adopted. Any objection? See none. Agreed to. The report stand adopted. Honorable members, that was the order of the day. But before we adjourn, I would like to remind you again and to formally notify you that Her Excellency Madam Lucia Vetboy, the Vice President of the Republic of Namibia, will come to our chamber in line with Rule 12. And she will do so on behalf of Her Excellency, the President of the Republic of Namibia. This will happen tomorrow, the 5th of November 2025. Her coming here will be to address this 6th National Council and at the same time officially close it. I should also mention that closing would not mean that we will end tomorrow. We'll just proceed with all other items on our agenda until this time when we'll officially close this session. What is going to be closed is the 6th National Council tenure. So if that can be made clear to not only those that are going to ask you, but also to those who would like to hear more. Honorable members, I rely on your usual punctuality. I rely on your usual professionalism and your conduct every time that we have gatherings of this magnitude. Tomorrow, the proceeding will start exactly at 9:30. It is now expected that we, and that is for security reasons, we should at least arrive earlier so that the guest finds us while we are already in the chamber. Having said that, I now call upon the Chief Whip to officially adjourn the House.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Members. The House stands adjourned until tomorrow, 9:30 sharp.
Any second to that? Any objection? None, and it's agreed to. The House stand adjourned until tomorrow, 9:30 sharp.